Alright guys, this is a little update on the Marauder that I bought about a year ago. It's a 2003, it's one of the earlier ones, one of like the earliest ones I believe, because its build date is 8/2, so actually August of '02. It's a 300A I believe. I don't know too much about these, but it's the one that's got like the seat pocket in the front. It's only 99,000 miles. I don't think anybody has ever sat in the passenger seat or the rear seat, because when I bought it, I just was curious one day and got on Craigslist and started looking for a Marauder just for the heck of it, and I saw this one and it said blown motor. I think I had listed for like $3 or something, and I told myself, I was like, if I go there and the thing is mint inside and no rust, I would be interested. Those were my basically only two requirements, because I've bought a rusty Crown Vic before and I will never do that again. And I got there and it was just mint, just perfect. You know, I laid underneath it and looked at it. It's like a Georgia car, so there's no rust and the interior is perfect. The only thing I could see is, I mean, the door's got a ding in it, a couple scratches, and I guess whoever owned it before must have been like a heavier person, you know, just where they get in, they're like, oh my god, I'm gonna go to KFC. But anyway, I decided really quick that I was just gonna LS swap it, because I knew it'd make people pretty mad, and that's what I like to do. I don't know, but anyway, here's what you do if you decide to make the mistake of letting the magic out like I usually do. If you want to quote do it right, what you can do is where are my pistons? Walked right by them. All these were seized up, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to soak them in some stuff and try to get them unseized, because my first LS motor engine, he called it a motor, oh my god, it's electric, it's an engine, it's an LS engine. The first LS motor I got back in like 2012, I shit the rods out of it because I just like hot lapped it, had way too much timing in it, and the ring gap was really tight. So what I like to do, just because I'm paranoid, is I will open up the ring gap, and what I do personally is I number all the pistons, just because I quote try to do it right. I like to embrace Roman numerals on pistons. That's number 5. So then I take the rings and I'll go one at a time, and you know, stick them in the hole and take an old junk piston from my pile of blown up pistons and rods from previous engines, a couple junk turbo 400 drums. But what you do is you know, stick it in the cylinder and like get it straight with an old junk piston, and just measure the ring gap. 5/3s, you know, you hear people argue day and night about what a ring gap to go, but I like, on a 5/3 I'll probably do like 24 top and 28 bottom. Some people would argue that that's way too loose, and some would argue that it's way too tight, so whatever, that's the tag for it, no more. 32 valve. I don't feel bad about swapping it, because it's a salvage title. It was wrecked in 2006. That's why I probably get such a good deal on it, but that's why I don't care about swapping it. The heads were just filled with oil and everything. It sat outside for a while, and somebody took the hood off it, and some of the had standing water in some of the holes. But I took it to my work where I build transmissions and threw the heads in the washer, and I have to go service it because it was looking really ugly anyway, so I just threw them in there to ruin the water even more. The only thing I noticed about this engine, yeah, there you go, called it an engine, you called it the right word, is that this one hole had like the most standing water, and there was just a little pitted, you just get pitted just like that, just a little pitted. But I just honed it a little bit, and the pit, it doesn't protrude out, it's just into the wall, so if anything, that one hole will just be a little lower on compression. which I don't really care about. This is the transmission I built for it. I got this from that guy, or from this guy in Kentucky who met me at a Dollar General. He's like, I can't go across the state line, I'm on parole, so you got to meet me in Kentucky. So I was like, all right, I met him in Kentucky. It lost reverse. It knocked, the directs were torched out of it and blew up the backing plate. So threw about $500-600 in parts in it and built it myself. Did a budget build on it because I'm not trying to set the world on fire. But I cleaned up the tray, the valve covers. I actually I'll have to cut where's the rear? It says a rear. Yeah, rear. I'll have to cut this off because it's a. I bought an LS1. Where is it? Keep walking by stuff. I bought an LS1 pan for it because on my race car right here, I call it a race car because people will argue that it's not a street car because it doesn't have heat or any of that stuff. I don't really care. I don't have to define something. I don't get in arguments for people because they're like, oh my god, it's not a street car. If you see the pan on the oil pan, it hangs pretty low. It's probably like 5 or 6 inches off the ground. And I don't mind it on this because, you know, I don't daily drive it, but on a Marauder that I'm going to daily drive, I don't prefer to have the tray hanging really low because I don't want to like hit a pothole or go over a speed bump or something and knock the pan out of it and have to call AAA and get towed home and then pull the engine. So I'm going to put an LS1 in it, or an LS1 pan. But I whizzy-wheeled the heads because they had the paper gaskets on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these, I have a whole ton of Turbo 400 valve bodies. So what I'm going to do, my buddy Mike suggested, I'm going to get some sandpaper and put it on this because it's a cast iron valve body and it's like really straight. I'm just going to stick it on that. And I'm just going to surface those. Then I'm going to surface the deck on the block. It probably would be fine. You know, this is just what I do. Like I probably could have just put a set of direct clutches in there and Jake's kit and been fine, but I lay awake at night and lose sleep thinking about some things, so I just do things so I can sleep at night. And I'll just do the same thing over here, just go with the valve body and some sandpaper. Start with like maybe 80, then 120 and 300 or something. But yeah, some people let the magic out. I'm one of those people. I got an LS6 cam from a buddy. I got new lifters, you know, because I got the engine for such a good deal that I just rationalized it. I'm like, I'll spend $400 in gaskets and lifters and like basically all the soft parts because I'm gonna rerun the rings, the bearings. I'll just open up the ring gap a little bit if it isn't already. It probably is perfect. I think it had like 200-something thousand miles on it. But that's just what I do. You know, some people don't. They have good luck. I probably could and have fine, or, you know, have good luck. But that's just what I do to sleep at night. So it's a 5.3 LS6 cam. I got I've been accumulating this stuff over time. Like I said, I've had the car for a year. It's sat in my driveway. I got this guy when somebody posted on Sloppy that they were like $150. I got some Pack 1218 springs from Varin. He sponsored me. And just if anybody was wondering, sponsorship, it doesn't mean 100% free. You know, people are like, oh, it must be nice to get sponsored. But you got to think it's like, not to sound arrogant, but maybe me using somebody's product gives them a little more business. But I'm grateful to all my sponsors. They give me a great price on it, but you know, I still had to pay for some of it, or a lot of it. This is an LS6 cam I got from my buddy Sean. This is the original, the P01 from Matt's Colorado that he had when he first started it up, that he knew he was going to transition to the P59. That will do 2-bar and flex. But I decided that since my boss just bought a truck and his is going to be P59, we're just going to both run the same thing. And because I want to be able to run 3-bar and flex, because I'm sure I'd like run it on 14 pounds and then be like, well, this is fun. I want to run like 18. This is the Billet 7875 from Varin. I got some decaps from Matt that he gave me, that Eric Durr flowed. Get the coils. Andy Bryant's doing the harness. He's probably doing it right now. I'm gonna run a truck intake because this guy, I can't remember his name. He's got a 03 up Crown Vic that he just bought these Mustang swap motor mounts, and he said they work. These deals from, I can't remember, one of those pony places, pony sites. What you do is you bolt those on to the engine, then you bolt the forward mounts to that, and then it just dunks right in. And what's nice about it is you get to keep the wiper tray, because this is a little quick class. This is a 2002 and earlier, my race car, and it's a steel K-member, cross-member, whatever you want to call it. And I have custom motor mounts on this that my buddy did a while back. Now they're just solid. But on the Marauder, it's, you know, all 03 plus. They, hope you guys aren't getting dizzy with me. On the 03 plus, it's, you know, it's all Bolton. This is all aluminum, the cross member, and because they did a whole bunch of frame changes, so it's different. So whatever, you know, the custom mounts I have on that, not only would they not work for this, but it would be more work to do custom ones. I told the guy that told me about the Crown Vic ones that worked, I was like, hey, look, I hate to be that guy, because all the time I get questions. People are like, what motor mounts did you use? What transmission mount? I'm like, dude, if you're asking about that, those are the same people that ask, like, what kind of clutches? What clutches do I build for my use for my Turbo 400 build? And it's like, if you have to ask that question, you're out of your skill level. I'm sorry, not to be like negative or mean, but I was that guy, and he told me which motor mounts to get, and I ordered them. So what I'm gonna do is all I'm waiting on now. Well, I don't want to say like I'm waiting on. I got to put the engine back together. While I'm doing that, the triple disc from Jake's Performance should probably show up for this. Then I'm going to sling that in, bolt the engine and transmission together, and dunk it in all at once with the motor mounts. And then I'll have to support the rear of the transmission, bring it up, and then I'll just weld some Haggard stuff between the stock cross member and the mount on the 4L80E, and then be done there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this over to my buddy's house in his garage, put it in his garage, and then I'm going to push the Marauder in here, hammer out the turbo kit. Then by that time, I'm sure Andy's harness will show up. Then I'll have to drop the tank, do a fuel pump. I have to add a return line because the Marauder is a return-less fuel system. And then it's just all the little stuff. Probably, I don't know, maybe fly Matt down here and have him tune this again on Holly, tune the Marauder, or maybe put it on a trailer, bring it up to him. I'm not sure, but that'll be my new daily. I'll sell the white one behind it. You know, it's nice when you drive $900 old cop cars or $2,000 Marauders with blown engines, because then you can spend all your money on 15, 20-year-old cop cars, and then your old lady gets her nice Honda, so she can't complain, in theory anyway. This is a I'm building a Turbo 400 for Matt, for all the help he's given me over the years, so just gotta find some time to put that together. Not that he really needs it right now anyway, but that's all I can think of for now. I'll probably remember something that I wanted to say and be like, shit! So that's my 14-minute rambletron update on the Marauder, and if you want to let magic out, how to put the magic back in it. So that's it. Bye.